Hello friends, today we will take a look into another Booker Prize longlisted novel, If I Survive You by Jonathan Escoffery. Jonathan Escoffery is a collection of interconnected short stories told from a Jamaican family living in Miami. While it is a collection of short stories, it does read like a novel because each story connects and moves the plot along while being told from the point of view of different family members. The story takes place in the 1970s in Kingston, Jamaica, and later in Miami, Florida. It spans decades from the 1970s through the 2008 financial crisis. The story switches between first person and second person narration from the point of view of Trelawney, one of the major characters. We meet Christopher or Topper and Sania. Both were born and grew up in Jamaica, Africa in the 1950s. They met and fell in love, but with the political turmoil, they moved to Miami in the US with their son Delano and end up having another son, Trelawney, while in Miami. With a loan from his father, Topper opens a landscaping business, which begins to boom after Hurricane Andrew, but not enough to combat the recession. The family topples over when Topper heads to Jamaica after the death of his parents and, in a moment of weakness, makes a decision that impacts his family. Topper and Sania separates. Sania gets Trelawney and Topper ends up with Delano. With the family falling out, we see how this impacts each member uniquely. This is a story about survival. It focuses on Trelawney, his parents, his brother, and his cousin, and their rocky journeys making their way in America. Trelawney's parents, Topper and Sania, leave Jamaica in the 1970s for Miami, seeking to escape from the political violence there. But Miami is not quite the panacea they hoped. Every time one member of the family seems like they are getting a foothold, they encounter a new challenge, whether societal, familial, or internal. In the early days, it is Hurricane Andrew. As Trelawney goes to a prestigious Midwestern college and his brother Delano finds success with a landscaping business, the 2008 recession then takes away any hope of economic security. And all along the way, the members of the family find the others are as likely to undermine as support. The absurdity of colorism is very well portrayed. Trelawney is the only person in his nuclear family to have been born in the US. At school, no one thinks he looks or sounds Jamaican because he is not. Additionally, his complexion suggests Hispanic or Dominican. And it turns out that in this country, society has a need to pigeonhole people. So at times, Trelawney has to announce himself as black. The American-born Trelawney and his Jamaican immigrant family has to navigate the unwritten intricacies of life in the US. Story narration being from the multiple points of view of Trelawney and his relatives gives a multifaceted perspective on racism, university life, Jamaican politics, complicated family connections, poverty, clash of cultural identity, America's financial crisis and its aftermath, sibling rivalry and parental favoritism, and a host of other life frustrations. Trelawney and his family persevere in the face of a broken system and the often unexpected situations they find themselves in. A question that Trelawney usually confronts is, what are you? A question that he is unable to convincingly answer. Not dark enough to be labeled black, clearly neither Hispanic nor white, though he often does use this lack of clarity about his racial identity to his benefit in an effort to fit in with different peer groups in the school. This is a question that follows him throughout his life. Trelawney and his family persevere in the face of a broken system and the often unexpected situations they find themselves in. The novel's climax occurs when Trelawney, the main character, claws his way out of homelessness. He is able to build out a place of security through a series of unusual, often humorous employment. This achievement is all the more remarkable given his family's experiences with political violence, social isolation, and the 2008 crisis. It is a monument to Trelawney's character as well as the family's determination to survive despite all of the challenges they have faced. This leads to a resolution as the novel's other characters, such as Trelawney's brother and cousin, each find a foothold in their life. Concerning the author, Jonathan Escoffery, he was born in Houston to a newly arrived Jamaican family and grew up in Miami. The narrator of Escoffery's award-winning short story, Under the Ackee Tree, is also a Jamaican immigrant who fled to the US. Although his debut novel, If I Survive You, is a collection of humorous and harrowing linked stories following a Jamaican American family as they seek stability upon moving to Miami, navigating cultural dislocation, tenuous family ties, and the many conflicting meanings of Black American identity, Escoffery's stories are not strictly autobiographical, though he wrote a world that feels true to his own and the decades in which he worked to carve out a writer's life. His forthcoming novel, Play Stone Kill Bird, is eagerly awaited by the literary world. He is the winner of the 2020 Plimpton Prize for Fiction, the 2020 ASME Award for Fiction, and the 2020 National Endowment for the Arts Literature Fellowship. His writing has appeared in the Paris Review and American Short Fiction. That's all for today. If you liked the video, please do share, like, and subscribe. Thank you.